Wednesday, May 19th, 2021. This is the calm before the storm. No storm, but we're having a lot of work done around the house today. A lot of tree work. And I thought I'd come out and take a video of the process today. It's early. It's about 7:15, and we're going to have a lot of tree work done. So I thought I'd take a little picture of the before, during, and the after. Most of the work is being done on the south side of the house. So when you look at these big pine trees, and over here on the north side, this area is pretty much cleaned up and in good shape. Shrubs are pretty much trimmed. The tree guys are going to come do these two weeping yaupons for me today between the driveway. Get a picture of that. House is freshly painted. Now on the south side, you can see the carport over here. We actually own a good 40 feet beyond the carport. I was over at my neighbor's house yesterday to give them a heads up that we're going to be cleaning this area out with a few objectives. As I mentioned before, what I'm trying to do is selectively remove trees so that others may grow and prosper. But pine trees in Florida grow very tall, very fast, and they start out very thin. Like, here's a it's about 5 inches in diameter, this one right here. And as you can see, it's probably 70 feet, maybe even 80 feet tall. So we're going to be removing a lot of trees like this. We've got a whole bunch of thin little trees in here that are ripe for removal. We've got this very large oak tree right here with a huge umbrella above. Very pretty tree, which no one can see because it's being blocked by all the little guys. And there's a lot of small trees that are growing in right into it, right through it. You can see that. So, and then this area here, this is just growth that's kind of killing the small trees, and so we're going to take both out. In the front of the yard, and this is actually, as I walk here, this is facing west. You can see my shadow. Sunrise is behind me. This tree right here has got a huge vine attached to it. It runs, and this is a big tree, it's not a small one. It runs all the way to the tippity top. Once again, this is probably 80 feet. So we're going to take this down. This is a live oak tree, which generally we try to save. You know, these are evergreen oak trees. They're pretty cool in Florida. They have a nice little leaf, very little shedding. But typically I'm trying to preserve all those live oak trees. But these are pretty sad. The graybeard does a job on them, you know, and these are untouched. This is not an area that I paid much attention to. Kind of just let it go because of priorities and budget. But these trees are dying, if not almost dead. So these two guys are going to go. This little oak tree here that's not much to speak about, it's going to come down. That little oak tree there. That one pine tree behind it. This is a different view of all of the small trees. You can see all the trees that are 4 inches in diameter or less, that some of them are 60 feet plus tall. This is an oak tree right here with a branch that comes off the base. It's like 2 trees. That one on the left hand side, going to get that taken out and trim this one up a little bit and let this grow. These small trees here, they're going to come out. So let's go to the eastern side here for a minute. I'm going to pause this. Okay, so back to it. This is a nice carport that I use for various reasons. I've had cars in there. A lot of people put boats in there from this area, but we haven't had a boat. So this is a lot more small trees here, small diameter. Here's one that I'm right in front of me right here. This guy. Take a look. Here we go. Up, 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 up. It's probably, oh God, 80 feet. It's insane. It's about 5 inches in diameter. I mean, it's just crazy. So, so these, you know, this is the before. A lot of trees get vines on them like this, and we're gonna get rid of those. That little tiny oak tree right in the center here, I'm gonna take that out. But this beautiful oak tree here behind it, we'll be able to get a better view of it after this work is all done. But there's another shot of it. It's you can see how all these trees are growing right into the oak branches up above. Whoa, that's a big tall tree there. So, kind of excited. The people that are coming are JLH Tree Company. They've done work for me a half a dozen times or so. They've actually taken out a lot of lightning rod trees, like big. See how they start getting thicker and a little taller, you know. But once they're there, I mean, this is probably 80 feet. Once they're there, they just get thicker. Like this tree right here. Just going to remove those 2 lower branches. Going to let that go. We've had probably 8 or so of the big trees removed over the years, as they were too close to the house and they were starving. Well, they were not good for the roof and all kinds of other stuff. But over here on the eastern side of the front yard, we've got a large population of small trees that these guys get rid of them. I'll probably, hopefully get a video of how they do this. I mean, they cut them down at the base and then chip the entire tree. So that'll be kind of fun to look at. Now behind this flock of small trees, there's another very sizable oak tree that we'll expose, you know, to give some depth to the yard and balance. This is an example of a live oak right here in front. What I'm going to do is keep this, probably remove this branch because it's not sure which way it wants to go. But we have an arborist who's coming with the crew. He's a hard-working guy. His name's Paul, and he can just trim this just the way it should, so it'll grow. I'll show you an example of one that we did a few years ago and what's happening to it. This little pine tree, Karen likes it, but we got plenty of cute little pine trees, so that's going to go. Today is irrigation day. When the guys come, I'll shut the water off. But anyway, here's another live oak right here that we'll just trim up, get the pine needles off, and this is already starting to grow, so that's cool. More small diameter trees getting wet here. More small diameter trees here, and this is Florida's natural palm is in behind there. Not going to do much to it except just expose it so that you once again give it a nice little depth. This is all going to stay, you know, the way it is. Pine needles and natural. I'm not going to do anything here to develop this area at all, except, like I say, give it some balance. This is I'm trying to duck the water. This is another live oak tree that we're going to keep. That's going to be nice. And these things do grow. They grow like crazy. Here's one that we trimmed that's starting to really branch out and grow. Let's see. I'll pause it for a second. So, got the sprinklers going on in the backyard here. Didn't want to get the phone wet. Anyway, anyway, we've got 106 sprinkler heads in this property. So here's a live oak tree that it's probably quadrupled in size in like 4 years because we took out some big pine trees, and that's really getting nice and straight. That's going to be beautiful. Eventually, these are called palmetto palms. Eventually, they're really not good for much, except giving a place for snakes to live. So, not my favorite plant. Obviously, haven't done anything to it. We got some raspberries over there, which are nice. So anyway, all these little scrubby trees here in the back, they're just going to cut down and chip. It's like literally like 1 or 2 minutes per tree, so it's well worth it. This again is a live oak tree that was completely buried with other trees. That's getting plenty of sun and water. Very happy looking tree. It's going to be beautiful. Live oaks, when you let them grow just by themselves, they get to be kind of crazy cool looking. Like that fence over there, that's still on our property. We're about 10 feet beyond that, but you can see what a live oak does naturally. It just kind of branches out, and it's very pretty. And again, kind of a majestic looking thing, you know, real pretty trees. Across the fence there, that's a holly tree that, once again, that was completely buried. It was part of the original landscaping in 2007. And when I got here, you couldn't even see it because there were so many trees burying it. And since then, the arborist actually suggested cutting it down at the base. And man, is this thing taken off. It's a beautiful tree and a good spot for the house. So, this is kind of a before, and we'll keep you updated.